Hello, you're tuned to Music and Ideas 91.3 KBCS. This is Sean Donovan. I am here with Brigitte DeMeyer and Will Kimbrough. Delighted to have you guys here in the Northwest.
I have music. She has ideas.
Excellent. It's Brigitte's first time in the Northwest.
It is.
And we're glad to have her here. You've got 6 albums to your credit. Just to
Thank
kind
you
of
for knowing
introduce.
that.
With your latest Savannah Road,
Yes.
on which 11 of 13 were co-written by Will Kimbrough, who is, you have 6 albums of your own.
Yeah, 6
right?
or 7 or something.
Yeah,
and
something
a bunch
like
of band
that.
records.
It looked kind of
Yeah. Miscellaneous.
And many credits and collaborations with artists ranging from Jimmy Buffett to Emmylou Harris and Mavis Staples and
Brigitte DeMeyer.
Brigitte DeMeyer, and interestingly enough, a friend and I were just talking about Bob Dylan today, and you've opened for Bob Dylan, Brigitte, so one of your many people that you've worked with as well.
Yeah. My favorite as well, though.
Don't look at Bob. Whatever you do,
Of course,
don't look at Bob.
Yeah. That was
What would Bob
an
say?
interesting
Oh, really?
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse my voice.
How is it?
It was years and years ago, and I was playing at a festival in Colorado. And he's just buffered by like 30 or 40 people. You're not allowed to come out of your dressing room when he's walking down the hall.
Yeah.
He's like 2 doors down, and I just wanted to say hi.
But you know that song he wrote?
Oh, no.
Bridget, you're not allowed to look at me. Don't come looking at me in my dressing room. You know that
Right.
one?
So he was, it was a big deal. I was happy to be in the building with him, but didn't get to meet him. He's buffered.
I see. I
Bob
had no
Buffer.
idea he was such a diva.
We're not saying that.
As our,
We're not saying
I'm
that.
not saying,
okay.
I'm just saying.
yeah.
It was like
Bob.
that.
We love Bob.
We love Bob.
Why don't we kick it off with the song, introduce people, warm them up, give them a chance to get to know you, and we'll come back and chat a
Well,
little
I'll
bit.
say this, that Bridget's not going to sing lead today because her
Right.
voice is shot from touring, and so you're missing out, so you need to buy her record, especially the one called Savannah Road. And then, but all the others are great too. And just wanted to let you know that. All you're going to get to hear is me singing. So
it'll keep us wanting.
if you're going to just tune out now, that's fine. See you later. Trouble waiting around the corner, waiting around the corner for you every day. Well, trouble waiting at the window for your next mistake. Well, live for the moment, every minute of the day. Live for the moment, it's the only way. Now, trouble, waiting around the corner for you every day, yeah. Dying, Lord, I ain't afraid of dying, it's a natural thing. Dying, I ain't afraid of dying sure is autumn, winter, summer, and spring. Live for the moment, every minute of the day. Yes, live for the moment, it's the only way. Trouble, waiting around the corner for you every day. Misery's laughing at you, laughing while you're crying. It's a terrible thing. Sickness, hiding in your bedclothes, hiding. He's a coward, but he's on your trail. Live for the moment, every minute of the day. Live for the moment, it's the only way. Now, trouble, waiting around the corner for you every day. Well, now. the corner, waiting around the corner for you every day. Dying, I ain't afraid of dying, ain't afraid of dying, it's a natural thing. Misery's laughing at you, laughing while you're crying, it's a terrible thing. Trouble waiting around the corner, waiting around the corner for you every day. Trouble waiting around the corner, waiting around the corner for you every day.
Hot dog. A perfect song for our post Super Bowl melees. Thank you, Trouble, Misery. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Will Kimbrough on lead vocals there with Brigitte DeMeyer. Delighted to have you here today with us live. And Will from the Alabama Gulf Coast.
I am.
And
from Mobile, right between New Orleans and Pensacola.
And Brigitte from Michigan.
I was born in Michigan. But
Born in
raised
Michigan.
Southern California, San Diego.
And living in Nashville, both of you now.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys met in Nashville, apparently.
Yeah.
For a show. Were you just put on the same bill?
Roots,
Yeah.
which was used to be a WSM show like the Grand Ole Opry, but it was like more of sort of alternative new music and rather than old country. So, but a lot of country and bluegrass. And Jim Lauderdale's the host. You know, great people on there. So anyway, my band Daddy was on there, and Brigitte was on there with this great band she had put together there, and we sort of admired each other's music and got each other's numbers and information. And next thing you know, I played on her record, The Rose of Jericho, which is a predecessor to Savannah Road, and then we wrote most of Savannah Road and worked on that together as well. So.
And toured a lot in between.
And that was back in 2011,
back
and
in the day.
You guys have been.
Yeah.
You what?
It's back in the day.
Back in the day. Right.
Yeah. It's
so
fun.
So I was reading an article, a little bit of research for this in the Sacramento Bee, and this is to you, Will. And the quote was, "He came to stare down a donkey recently." You want to tell us about the donkey? Because they never finished the story. They just said you stared down a donkey, and then they never came back to it. What happened with the donkey? I
have no idea.
Really? No?
I really don't. I'd have to read the article about.
They made that up.
I think we were talking on the phone, and we were talking about something. But I'm trying to think of staring down a donkey.
What does that mean?
It's a Dylan song. Staring down a donkey, babe, on the 15th day of May.
So why don't we talk about Savannah Road a little bit?
Talk about Bob Dylan some more.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
Savannah Road, termed, I think, Brigitte, you call it acoustic soul, or
Yeah,
it's
we
been
kinda
termed
came up
that?
with together. It's not a typical R&B soul record, although there's elements of that in my vocal performance, and McCrary sisters are singing some background vocals on it, which are some beautiful voices that I was lucky enough to have them come. And I just feel like soul comes in many different forms, and the lyrics are very soulful, and I'm proud of it.
And it sounds like you guys have a tremendous working relationship, that some actual cuts from the album came from the day you wrote the song. Is that true?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have a little home studio about the size of this room, and we write the song and then record it to make sure that we had it down, and then we play it again.
Like a
make
reference copy,
Yeah, we had some good recordings. I mean, a demo is just a recording. Any recording is legitimate if it's good. So, I mean, I know people are like, "Well, we can't use that. It's the demo." It's like, well, okay, you recorded your song. That's not a recording. Okay, whatever. But I like to use anything that works. And so, I know Brigitte was in love with some of the demos, and we were kind of like, well, then use it.
And there's an energy to playing something that's new.
Yeah.
That, if you play it over and over again, it loses its edge. And for example, the title track, Savannah Road, I mean, that was hot off the press. But there was a vibe to it. It was just like us trying to sing it all the way through, and it was a little scary, but we were recording it, and I don't know.
Hard to recapture.
It was
that
hard. There was
original.
an energy that I pay attention to, and there were other songs on the record that I actually had a band come and do parts on the record, and the actual just stripped down versions of it were what I preferred. It's just exemplifies the song more, and our chemistry and the vibe, I think, is better stripped down. So,
songs develop over time, but when you're making a record, I've always found that oftentimes you write the song and you figure out how to play it, and then you work on it in the studio a whole bunch, and you sort of work on it, and sometimes you can kind of massage the edge out of it, you know, and maybe that's part of what you're saying. But and then over the years, then it becomes the way you do it live, and the live version is more exciting, and it morphs over time. At least for me, I don't like to stick to the same way of doing stuff. I like to. But if I'm in a room that sounds a certain way, then it makes you play a certain way. And I mean, we're able to. I mean, we're not artists that are like, it doesn't cost us $30,000 to change the lighting program at the arena. You know, we can just walk into a place and do whatever the heck we want. And so in that version of sort of semi-musical obscurity, I really relish that because you have freedom.
And there's
it's just another word for nothing left to lose, as they say.
Yeah, there's another piece to that when you think it's not going to be the keeper, you know. There's like, you're not even really thinking about it too hard.
You don't,
like, there's like this red light syndrome, you know, when the thing's rolling or whatever. And so you sing a different way, or you might play a different way because you're more relaxed.
A little looser.
And so we always keep the scratch.
Yeah, well, perfection is way overrated.
Nice.
You know, when you actually listen to your favorite records, if you like roots music, most of the classic stuff was done in like a take, or the whole album was done in a day or 2 or 3 hours. You know, Meet the Beatles, Kind of Blue, those records were done in a matter of hours. So if you can't at least allow yourself to try that, then you're not going to ever get to where those people got. And not that I'm ever going to get to where Miles Davis and the Beatles got, but why not try?
Or Bob Dylan, for
Bob,
another
Bob,
example.
Look at Bob. But look, Bob, exactly, Bob, yeah.
So Savannah Road, the title track was, I read, inspired by Greg Allman's book, My Cross to Bear?
Well, in part.
Is that, okay.
I started thinking about Savannah because I went to a book signing of his for My Cross to Bear. And I met him and was really taken with this book and the tragedy and success of his life. And I've always loved the Allman Brothers and his voice in particular. And he lives in Savannah, so I started, you know, reading about Savannah and the different spooky kind of quality about that place, and made me think about what it must, in my mind's eye, what it must like to be there. And I just sort of created this song after reading that book. And oddly enough, we sent him the music, and I got to do a show with him shortly after the record came out, which was a big thrill for me. So, but he made me think about Savannah.
Right
so,
on.
yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we do some more music? Okay. I've got Brigitte DeMeyer and Will Kimbrough here. They're going to be playing in town tonight at the Royal Room. So, what do you got? What's up next for us?
I'm gonna do the first song that I played was called Trouble, and it's from well, I think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is. Just to go, it's kind of a Buddhist thing to go ahead and say, you know, you're not gonna get perfection. You're gonna get moments of it, and you're gonna have trouble. So be prepared. And I think that's good. So, but that's from I have a band on the Gulf Coast called Willie Sugar Caps, and so that song's on that record, which is self-titled, and came out in late 2013. I'm going to do another Willie Sugar Cap song. I have a record to shill for you called Sideshow Love, which I love. I got a copper slide made out of like plumbing pipe. It's been machined on the end. I'm going to do Mud Bottom. This is a Lower Alabama song, Dog River. It was actually named by the French. Just when you're thinking Dog River, Fish River, Fowl River, they're all named by the French back in the early 1700s. So Rivière du Chien sounds a little bit more exotic
Very
than
much
Dog
so.
River. But Dog River is pretty exotic. Stretch of yellow, muddy river with a silty bottom that you have to sort of swim down through 4 or 5 feet of muck to get to sandy bottom. And so that was a dare as a boy to go down there and bring up some white sand. I never did.
Still time.
Not gonna do it. Old Dog River runs brown and slow down to the Gulf of Mexico. Ooh, mud bottom. Honey, don't it feel so good to be back home? You got to dive in early before sunrise. Well, it gets too hot by morning time. Ooh, mud bottom, yeah. Honey, don't it feel so good to be back home? All right, now. You reach for the cool water down below. Till it gets real squishy between your toes, alright. Ooh, oh mud bottom. So good to be back home. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. River runs so brown and slow. Down to the Gulf of Mexico. Right, right. Ooh, mud bottom is what I'm talking about. Honey, don't it feel so good? So good to be back home. Well, honey, don't it feel so good to be back home? Mud bottom.
Will Kimbrough on 91.3 KBCS live. We've got Will along with Brigitte DeMeyer here. What a delight to have you guys here. And we're going to wrap up, but I just wanted to ask you about the "Build Me a Fire" song. I read that that was inspired in part by your mom's experiences, kind of wandering homeless during World War II. Is that true?
Yes. Well, yeah. She's an immigrant from Germany, born in the late 1930s, and half her family was Jewish on her mother's side, and that was not a cool time to be wandering the streets of Germany. And so they were constantly having to be on the move. And there were times where she was not even 8 years old, where her mom would have to send her down the road and I'll meet you there in 2 days. There's a schoolhouse or there's a barn. You know, it was just seeking shelter. And so in my mind, I sort of created what that must have felt like. And some of the lines in that song are actual things my mother said, and some of it's just my image of what it must have been like. And so I felt it was important to pay tribute. And if, you know, that doesn't give you the blues, wandering through Holocaust Germany, I don't know what does. And so that song is very blues inflected, and infected. And we simpatico that way. And McQuarries are singing on it, and actually we did a show the other night, and I sang it for my mother for the first time.
Oh.
And it felt good to do that. She's 77 years old now, and so anyway, I thought it was important to pay tribute. And now she's fine. She's globetrotting and has 14 grandchildren and kicking butt and taking names, and
amazing,
she's here.
Beautiful lady. Yeah.
She's a great grandmother, and She made it so.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it wasn't, as far as it influencing your upbringing or younger life, was it really present, or that kind of
It wasn't. I didn't know anything about it
right.
until probably 10 years ago.
Mm.
After my mom, occasionally would finally start having a glass of wine with me. She got really relaxed, and then I'd ask her, and she felt safe enough to talk about it. Mm. But that's very common amongst people who were affected by the Holocaust, or if they were, I actually had relatives that were in Auschwitz, and not to sound all heavy, the song isn't literal as far as like what happened to them, but it was more of an image of that was painted to me while my mother was telling her story.
Mm-hmm. That's the song "Build Me a Fire" off the new album Savannah Road. Will Kimbrough and Brigitte DeMeyer both collaborating on that album. You guys got one more tune for us to take out?
Yeah, I'm going to do a song from my most recent record called Sideshow Love, and I'm going to do this song called Emotion Sickness. And this is the record Sideshow Love came out in February of 2014, and it was a record that started with a couple of songs that I had written just then, and I thought, this is a centerpiece for a record. And then I had other new songs, but then some older songs that I'd kept in my head, and this is an older song for me, but it never had a place on a record before. So I like that. This is inspired by that country soul out of Muscle Shoals and Stax, and so here we go. I know you're hurt and you think you won't heal. Love will be waiting when you let yourself feel. Well, we fell together till we fell apart. Time stole away love, a thief in the dark. It's up like a rocket, and down you crash land. The devil's a dealer when you throw down your hand. Time will stand still and the world will race by. I seen you suffer, self-righteous, well, that's a sin and a lie. You see the light, if you'd only look. You know too much, baby, and a fool wrote the book. What's empty you welcomed, and love you denied. You better start living or die on the vine, yeah. And emotion sickness will trick you. Let the rain put a tear in your eye. You'll find what you're missing, and soon you'll be kissing, yeah, this emotion sickness goodbye. I tried to reach you, you said please don't touch. I'll help you up, baby, but I won't be your crush. You won't play the game, but you can't bear to lose. And nothing is left up to chance if you choose. Life over death, baby, love over hate. I'm right here willing, no, you don't have to wait, yeah. And emotion sickness will trick you. Let the rain put a tear in your eye. soon you'll be kissing this emotion sickness goodbye. Emotion sickness gonna trick you. You only need to open your eyes to the love that you're missing. Soon you'll be kissing this emotion sickness goodbye. You're gonna find what you're missing. Oh, and soon you'll be kissing this emotion sickness goodbye. Ooh.
There's a sweet waltz for you. Very nice. So we didn't get to hear your Northwest song.
I will.
I don't know. Do we have time for this one?
It's pretty short, but you just let me know.
All right, shoot.
She says yes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put it on my knee. It's not going to be very good visually, but it's going to be.
You want me to hold it?
So very special Northwest song
Make
written
myself
by
useful.
Will Kimbrough.
There's the word. Okay, look out your window. Look out your window right now. Take a look out. Everybody out there in radio land.
Can you say it? Okay.
Mud and moss, moss and mud, IPA beer in my blood. Far as rain, far as... I gotta take it from you. Far as Haines, soon the Seahawks play the Saints. That was last year. Long Beach Gray, Bellingham, one more pale ale, thank you, ma'am. Slough and Bay, Bay and Slough, I'm up here to sing for you. Ready? Once I had an axe to grind, Rainier ale and turpentine. Dripping ferns, soggy pines, Bellingham, you're on my mind. Sorry, everybody else. Take that ferry right up north to Alaska, back and forth. Osprey looking for fish, fine bay oysters on my dish. Orcas playing in the straits, using harbor seals for bait. Better bring your raincoat here, legal weed, and killer beer. Once I had an axe to grind, dripping ferns and turpentine. Bellingham, you're on my mind. It's a new song. There you go. Mud and moss.
Right.
Moss and mud.
Oh, hell yeah.
But normally if I can see the lyrics or hold the guitar, I can play music on it. So it's a little more of a Cajun dance.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
So anyway, now you know.
That's it. That's a wonderful summation. Really beautiful. Very rich about the Northwest there. All the rich treasures we have here.
Treasures.
Yeah. Brigitte DeMeyer and Will Kimbrough, thank you guys so much for being here. It just seems like you guys are having a really great partnership together, and we're so glad you all came in. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All right. You're tuned to KBCS, Music and Ideas.